Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Easton Film Festival Presents. My name is Craig Whitford. I'm your host. Tonight we have a very special show. We have the grand prize winners of the 2003 Easton Film Festival. And I want to bring you up to date a little bit where we stand on the festival at the moment and what our plans are for the coming year. But let me introduce you to these Easton filmmakers who won first prize for their film Epiphany. They are all graduates, 2003 graduates of Oliver Ames, all headed off to college. Immediately to my left we have Caroline McMullen. Hi, Caroline.
Hi.
And you're going to school where?
James Madison University.
James Madison, okay. We have Lauren Nicoletti.
Hi.
Lauren. And you're going?
University of Tampa.
University of Tampa. And Laura Burnstun.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. And you're going to?
Elon University.
Okay. And then we have one other filmmaker who's not here, your fourth partner, if you will. That's Carly Van Zandt. She couldn't join us today, and she's going to James Madison. Is that correct?
She's going to
Boston University.
Oh, she's going to be you. Okay. All right. And what's her major? Do we know?
I think veterinary.
Yeah, I think
veterinary.
yeah.
Okay. Do we have any film majors with you guys?
No.
No. You're going to do?
Psychology.
And Lauren?
Biology.
I'm not sure.
Not sure. Undeclared. That's my favorite one. You can minor in film, maybe. Anyway, we're going to see their film Epiphany shortly. They did a wonderful job indeed. Our judges deemed it to be the top film. We had close to 30 films submitted this year. And it's a remarkable little film with a lot of great original ideas, a common theme, and we will show that shortly. I do want you to know we have been on somewhat of a summer hiatus and have resumed taping shows for the cable access. We will also be resuming our foreign film series. Very successful last year. We'll be starting again on the first Friday in September. I think it's September 5th. We will be showing German film Run Lola Run, not to be missed. Again, the venue is Andrew's Bakery, and we'll be showing films there every other Friday night. We're going to follow Run Lola Run. The next two films will be French farces, French comedies, The Closet, and then Amelie. And we'll announce the balance of the schedule as we get closer to the fall. Also, we are having a fundraiser, and this is going to be on September 28th at Oaks Ames Memorial Hall. And this is also not to be missed. This is a one-man play. It's called Frederick Law Olmsted, Passages in the Life of an Unpractical Man. Mr. Jerry Wright is a playwright, actor. He has traveled around, I believe, the country and certainly the state doing this show. It obviously has a special meaning to Easton. We encourage you to join us. That is, again, Sunday, September 28th at 4 p.m. at Oaks Ames Memorial Hall. Ticket price is $20 for adults and $8 for children and students. Student, I guess, is anybody who's up to a senior in high school. The Easton Film Festival award ceremony was held on June 14th at the Martin Institute at Stonehill College. Turned out to be a great event. We honored the top 3 films, and we also honored many other categories. There were cash prizes for the top 3. And many of the films that were submitted were also received other recognition. The top 3 films were shown in their entirety. And tonight we're going to focus on the winner. And the winner was Epiphany. I have a few questions for you guys. I don't want to give too much away because we're going to run the film and then we can talk a little bit about it afterward. I did look up Epiphany before you got here. I was wondering about the inspiration for the title, and I know Epiphany, according to Webster, is the Christian festival held on January 6th celebrating the revealing of Christ. And I've always thought of an epiphany as a moment of enlightenment. Lauren, you want to address that?
Well, our movie doesn't have any religious aspects in it, but you do, like, our main character does go through an awakening, so you'll see that.
Yeah, he certainly does. I think, you know, the film, again, we don't want to give too much away, and I know that you responded in some sense. The film is really about suicide or anti-suicide, I guess is where I want to go with this. Teen angst, common theme, handled very originally by, in a lot of ways, in what you guys did. I think the most significant probably is the first person, it is told from the first person point of view. In other words, the camera in effect becomes a character, and we as the audience see through the eyes of the camera, who is the main character. Handled very well, paced wonderfully, and told the story neatly and briefly with brevity, and certainly made your point. And I could see that there was, you know, the music was good, and I could see you had to have some other issues which we'll talk about. Inspiration for this? Why did you want to tell this story?
Well, Mr. Hans had shown us the winner from last year's festival, and it also dealt with suicide. So we kind of thought about that as an interesting theme to go along with our class project of virtue. And actually, Carly Van Zandt, who isn't here, came up with the idea of our character and wanting to commit suicide, but in the end, changing his mind.
So we have kind of a point, counterpoint from last year's winner, and last year's winner was sort of your motivation, and then you ended up winning. Ironic, very nice. How about the music, Laura? You had to make some decisions here.
Yeah, we
Given
listened
the
to
theme. Go ahead.
lots of different songs and tried to find lyrics that really explained what the character was thinking, because we didn't want a lot of him talking in it. We wanted a lot with songs and kind of more like you had to put it together. So we found lots of songs that did that.
Yeah, it was outstanding the way it worked, because you're right, the character shouldn't say much, doesn't say much. The visual speaks and the music speaks to us as we follow him. All right, so I guess we're saying that life is what you make it, control your own destiny, right? Kind of step up to the plate, deal with your issues. Okay. I don't want to say too much more because I think we'll give too much away. So I think without further ado, let's now look at the 2003 Easton Film Festival winner, Epiphany.
This life makes sense. Can anyone tell what I've done? I miss the life. I miss the colors of the world. Can anyone tell what I am? Now again I found myself so far down, away from the sun that shines into.
I want to read you this passage. What it really felt like, though, was committing suicide. I felt like jumping out the window. I probably would have done it, too, if I'd been sure somebody covered me up as soon as I landed. I didn't want a bunch of stupid rubberneckers looking at me when I was all gory.
I'm with Holden on this one.
Passage.
Life
Salinger
sucks.
voices Holden's inhibitions about life in general. How does his feelings relate to the people around him? Colin, could you please enlighten us? Colin, are you still with us?
Unfortunately,
Colin, see me after class.
Look at me, my depth perception must be off again, 'cause this hurts
I provide for this family. The last thing I need when I come home is your nagging.
Try to see it from my point of view. You know, I have Colin to deal with all day long. He's so depressed, he doesn't even know which end is up. He comes home from school, he doesn't talk to me, he goes straight up in his room, he slams the door, he starts listening to all that horrible, violent music that he listens to. And where are you? You're still at the office. You stay there so late. There's no way you can come home. I should be used to this by now. But I'm sorry. I'm just at the end of my rope, and I can't take this crap anymore. From him or from you.
They're so infuriating.
Colin, where are you going? Don't you want your dinner?
Sorry, Mom. Didn't realize I was such a problem. Wouldn't it be so much easier if I never existed? Why can't things go back to when I was a kid? Just me, Mom, and Dad. Hanging out in the park on a sunny afternoon. We had those picnics, going around a frisbee or practicing my swing. No friends. But that was okay. There was no need. Now I have to deal with high school. None of those kids know me. No one cares. Teachers whisper about me to each other. Parents don't understand me anymore. Honestly, what's the use? I'm not living for anyone else. I can't even live for myself. There's nothing to show for it. Probably be more useful 6 feet under.
Before the doctor can even close the door. Lightning crash, and old mother dies. Her intentions fall to the floor. The angel closes her eyes.
Nice of you to show up today, Colin. Get on the bus.
Can I sit with you guys?
So it likes nuts.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit with him.
Hey guys, listen up. We're going to be visiting the Ames mansions today. I want you to stay together in pairs. Nobody going off by themselves. Otherwise, it's your last field trip. Thanks.
Go ahead and jump. I could use the company. Think life sucks now? Wait till it's over. I have parents too, you know. I didn't even know they cared until I left. When I left, everything changed. My mom didn't leave a room for 5 years. My dad lost his job. He couldn't focus on the simplest projects. They used to argue a lot when I was around. I felt as if I didn't exist. Maybe I thought that's why their lives wouldn't be much different without me. Maybe that's why it was so easy to kill myself. Do you know the dead have dreams? Too bad they'll never come true. I'll never see my family again. I'll never get to go to the prom or have a graduation. I'll never get married and I'll never have kids. You might not think these things are important now, but trust me, they're everything. All these things I'm missing out on because I thought taking my life would solve all my problems. Look, do what you want. Life is really worthless unless you choose to do something with it.
Promise?
you have it, Epiphany. I got to tell you, girls, I love this film. And I've seen it several times now, and you achieve something on an emotional level because it always gives me pause at the end. So I feel it, I do feel it emotionally. So in that short period of time, you told a wonderful little story and you were able to reach and touch emotions. Very difficult thing to do. So Caroline, I want to ask you about the script a little bit. Now, you guys, you were working on this this started as part of Mr. Hand's, which class was that? The
Philosophy.
Okay, so when did you start working on it?
Probably mid-December, I think.
Probably.
It was early.
December,
Yeah.
okay. And the project, and you really completed the film?
The day before.
Day
it was
before.
due.
The day before, okay, great. Because that's how you work a project, really. And I'm sure you were fine-tuning and refining along the way. Did you storyboard it before you scripted it?
Tried
yeah,
to.
Yeah.
we tried to. We did have like a rough draft of sorts, and then refined it as we went along. It really was a building process. Like our first draft was good, but it didn't really communicate what we were trying to convey about how he was really deciding not to kill himself in the end. So that was kind of a work in progress as we went along. We kind of worked with.
You knew where you wanted to go.
Right.
And it was a question of the path
Right.
to take to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Figuring out how to end it was one of the biggest challenges, I think, at least in the script writing.
The ending's perfect. It's a little bit of a, I mean, the apparition is wonderful, and then we are revealed to Colin, and then it stops, and it stops on that very high positive note. And there's really nowhere else to go with it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I guess we discovered that as
Yeah.
we went along. At first, we were just kind of confused, like, how do we end this? But yeah, I think it ended up nicely. So.
The locations, Lauren, how did you decide on the locations?
Well, Mr. Hands gave us the idea for the bridge scene, and
Right.
that was excellent. It was great, and the rest we just kind of like used the school, and a lot of it was shot in school or like at our
A lot
houses.
of it was at the school outside. You had the lunchroom, the corridors, the classroom, outside of the school with the bus. And then you had the house, that you're driving, and then you had the rain. Was it really raining that day? Did you? Okay. So you planned for a rainy day?
We kind of went with the weather.
You went with the weather. Because obviously the rain is perfect, dealing with depression, and you need that sort of dark tone. And then you end again with that very uplifting moment. How about the music? You want to talk about the music, Laura? That had to be...
That, I think, played a huge role in it because we wanted the lyrics to really express what he was feeling. And we listened to tons of songs before we found the ones we wanted. And then when we did, I think it worked out really well.
All right, tell me again who we used on the music. We had, I know we had Everclear in it. Well, you tell me.
Everclear, 3 Doors Down.
Right.
Well, live. It wasn't live. One of them.
Yeah, I think Live.
Okay.
I think there were a couple others, I just can't remember.
Was that a long process? You went through listening and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to find the right part of the song we needed because you can't put a whole song in the movie.
right, and music is critical, and it's especially critical in this where there's really no dialogue from the main character. So you're capturing that theme in a different way. Excellent choice of music. It all fits the package very nicely. I did want to ask you about a couple really great scenes, and I loved when you're at Frothingham and you're walking through the puddle and you're shooting down and you get the reflection and you get the trees and the skies. And Lauren, you want to tell me about that? How did that, was that a lucky day? Was that a mistake? How did that work?
I actually talked to Caroline because she actually was the
All
one
right,
who
Caroline,
filmed it.
tell me about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I had said, I'll try to get some more footage while I think it was vacation actually.
Right.
So one day I just looked outside and it was dark and gray and it had just rained and it was actually sprinkling a little bit still. So I just went out and took a lot of footage. There's actually a lot of it that was cut out, but
So you went
it
to
was just-
Frothingham. Did you try some other locations that day too?
nope, it was just Frothingham. It was
Okay.
weird how it worked out. It kind of fit in nicely, and So it was just
Yeah.
lucky.
She surprised us.
Yeah, that
was
really,
good.
and again, capturing the mood, capturing the moment. The weather was on your side, and the reflection part. Now you're walking with the camera,
Yep.
so those are your feet we see, in
Yeah.
or the splashing in the
Yeah,
puddle.
try not to see my
And
sandals.
so you're shooting down,
Right.
and then we get the reflection in the trees and the sky, and brilliant. Luck can play a big part. You know, luck plays a big part, and sometimes you make, you know, if you do a lot of footage like you apparently did, and then you get to pick something out, and then sometimes the mistakes you think are mistakes work out to be valuable pieces of film, or the mistake pushes you to another area where we have to try something else. The acting was good here too.
Yeah, Mrs. Hadge, Sue Hadge is awesome. She did that like all off the top of her head, like right on the spot. She's just so good.
Yeah,
The kitchen scene with the
That was very
the
good,
mother
yeah.
father.
And I think it's important with the acting, especially when you're making a film, an amateur film. The acting is critical in that you don't want it to take away. If it's so bad, then people focus on the bad acting and they lose the sense of the story. But it was all kind of minimalist enough and worked along with that first-person point of view that you know, the acting was good and it was paced very well. You guys, did you write the script at night? Did you have meetings?
Yeah, we usually actually went to McGuire's and worked on it.
McGuire's is a good place to work, yes.
I tried to make them fun, so we're like dinner meetings.
Did you come up with the title prior to, or you were in the midst of the project and the title came to you?
At the end.
It's very end.
Yeah, it's like one of the
Very
last things.
end. last
Lauren
thing
actually
to-
came up with it.
We didn't really know what else to name it, but that would like kind of capture the whole movie. So we're like, Epiphany works.
Yeah, no, Epiphany works very well. And the, I think, you know, the end of the film is so, and I keep going back to that, it's such a positive note. And I like the way it grabs you and leaves you really in a sort of reflective mood. The final scene, or close, or at the bridge, that's an interesting day of filmmaking too, I suspect. You have the apparition, and we have the effect of fog. Tell me, was that a lucky day? Was that a lucky shoot? What happened there? How did we get that?
We actually shot it 3 or 4 times because every time we did it, something went wrong. It poured one day it was really windy, and we ended up shooting it lots of times, and then finally ended up using that one, and then put the fog in with the computer.
So the fog was added with the computer. What time of day did you shoot that?
Like 3 or 4.
So 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I
After
think-
school.
Yeah.
So this was late winter, spring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think the weather this past winter, spring cooperated with your depressing
Very much.
moods. What was, Lauren, what was probably if you have, maybe you can't answer this, is there the most single difficult aspect of the film, the one toughest hurdle to get over?
Editing.
Editing.
Oh, it was such a pain. Because we had to like go back and change things. We didn't like the way this was done, so we wanted to fix that, and the words didn't go with this, or it was a lot of work. We were there.
It was a real learning process
Yeah.
too. Does the editing, what did you use for equipment on the editing?
We used
iMovie.
iMovie.
Okay. Is that something that was at the school? Did you have that available at home, or?
At
Yeah,
the school.
at the school, Mr. Hands has it in his office, so we used that. And he was the biggest help.
Yeah,
He, like,
Mr.
showed us
Hands
how to do
had a
everything.
Big part in our movie, so.
Yeah, I would comment on his acting, but I think there's been enough talk around town about Mr. Haynes' acting. So,
He did a good job.
He did.
Yeah. I think we'll have to see if it stands the test of time, you know. We'll look at it.
Next year.
Look at it next year, exactly. And chances are he'll appear in some more roles. I think the most significant aspect of the film truly is the message. I'm wondering if, in writing the script, you said you storyboarded it, and then you had a destination to get to, and then we had to travel to get there. So did we have rewrite after rewrite after rewrite, or did?
Yeah, especially with the park scene that I had filmed. We weren't really planning for that. It just kind of happened. So we had to go back and rewrite his inner monologue to go along with the depressing atmosphere.
So, for example, then the day you got to Frothingham, and you were just, you know, getting out doing some footage. So was that sort of added?
Yeah, we hadn't really thought about it in advance. It was definitely a kind of
I kind of see
spontaneous
Colin.
thing.
You know, Colin is. I mean, he's talking back to the teacher, and then he's got the issue at home with his parents are fighting, and I didn't know I was causing all this, and now he's gone. He's gone for a walk, and I mean, it was just a perfect touch. And I'm sensing it's as you made this film, you discovered things along the way. So you kind of write it as you go along.
Pretty much.
Did the ending, was that scripted?
Yes, yeah.
That took a while too,
That was-
because it was hard to. Yeah, and it was hard to like word it so it didn't sound phony. Like we wanted it to sound like moving, but not like so far-fetched, because it was a ghost, and you didn't want to make it like real corny or anything.
Yeah, actually, there's nothing corny about this film. The transitions were done very nicely, very smoothly. As we got to the apparition, I mean, or the ghost, I mean, as the viewer, you clearly see what's going on here. And I think the use of the effects with the smog sort of effect, it was minimal, but it was perfect. There's a lot of, I think, subtleties that show up on this film, and I think by using that first-person point of view, it allows you, I mean, the subtleties kind of creep in. But anyway, I guess we're getting close to being out of time, and I hope that maybe a Christmas break or something, you guys will come back and we can talk about this again. Can I get you all back? You guys willing to do that?
Sure.
Yeah, you're going to try to make another film now that you've been first place?
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know,
We're
this
thinking
should
about it.
inspire you to go on. Anyway, Caroline Mullen, Lauren Nicoletti, Laura Burnstun, thank you so much and congratulations. It was an absolutely wonderful film.
Thank you.
It truly is. You did a great job. I want to remind you again, we'll be starting our foreign film series first Friday in September. Join us for the Frederick Law Olmsted one-man show on August 28th. And watch for this cable show Monday and Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. on your local cable access. And for Easton Film Festival Presents, I'm Craig Whitford.